it is a pathetic thing when you discover foolishness in the place of knowledge. That is debating our Lord Jesus Christ and Nabi Muhammad. Like, I don't get it. There is no connection at all. There is no correlation. There is nothing in common. If you take a look at the book of John, John says, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and God himself was the Word. He presented Jesus Christ according to his spiritual genealogy. If you go to the book of Matthew, you see Matthew presented Jesus Christ according to his physical genealogy from Father Abraham downward. That's how the gospel presented Jesus Christ in different dimensions, in different ways. And you're now both sitting down. That our own that came, and your own that later came. That I don't think the IQ is working perfectly. Another point I want to talk about is the point and the aspect of doctrine. Some churches, they sit down and they determine. They said, look, oh, this is my church, and this is the doctrine we are going to be following. Following them, they are doing it according to the plan and the will of the GO of that church, of that ministry. They are doing it, they are doing it, they are doing it. Even though they are confused, even though they don't understand, even though they are not aware of what is going on, even though they don't know the implication, even though they don't know the why, they don't know the north, they don't know anything. They are just following like zombie, blind followers. They are following, they are following, they are following, they are following. Some of their children now grew up and they were opportune to get exposure. They travel out, they go to school, and when they go to school, when they travel out, when they go to their place of work, they discover something. And what is that? They have access to other church. They have access to other ministry. They now discover that, look at all these things that we are doing in our own church. It's not being practiced here. And when they ask questions, the person that owns that word say, no. That is the doctrine of your church. You see, in our own church here, we have our own doctrine. Something is worrying all of you. Something is wrong with all of you. And that is the reason why it is very, very difficult for our children to accept and to obey what we are teaching them. Even though it's the truth, even though it's the reality, even though it is fact. Our children grew up hating themselves, hating the ministry, hating their parents, hating their pastors. Why? Because they felt they have been cheated. They felt they are being forced to obey something that is not in their wish to obey. Another aspect I would like to talk about now is PDM and the Rate movement. Very dark man. Very black dark man. And the Rate movement. Yeah, God bless you, our wonderful viewers. My name is M.O. Olaigbala, T.P.H, Olaigbala 1, aka Baba Pari. Yeah, I've come on this program today to address some issues because, you see, it is a pathetic thing when you discover foolishness in the place of knowledge. You see, I wonder how it is possible for some people to actually condone stupidity in the high level. My dear, now come to think of it. How can you sit down and you have the time to be debating about a dead man and a man that is alive? No. What sense does it make? How can you compare a dead man to somebody that is alive? You see, I see a lot of people talking about it, saying it, and I was like, wait, is it not the same person? What am I talking about? I discover a level of stupidity and I'm highly disappointed. And that's why I was like, okay, it is time now for me to address it. And what is that stupidity? What is that foolishness that I have seen that people are practicing in this generation? That is debating our Lord Jesus Christ and Nabi Muhammad. Like, I don't get it. There is no connection at all. There is no correlation. There is nothing in common. Now, Jesus Christ came, died, resurrected, and ascended back to heaven. Almost 400 years plus later, somebody now came and was now saying rubbish, saying nonsense about that person that died and resurrected and ascended about 400 years ago. He now begins to say something. He now begins to make himself look more important than that person. And some people now sat down and they now begin to think that the next thing they need to do now is to debate it. What are you debating? Our Lord Jesus Christ died, resurrected, and ascended back to heaven. 4 witnesses wrote down what they know and what they saw, not what they hear, what they know and what they saw, because they are one of the disciples. That's the 4 gospels that we have in the Bible: the gospel of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. So these 4 apostles, they lived with Jesus Christ one-on-one on earth. Are you getting it? They went to desert with him. They went to the mountain with him. Now, these 4 people, they are the one that gave the account of Jesus Christ. Now, somebody might say, but there are some things in Matthew that are not in Mark. There are some things in Mark that are not in Luke. There are some things in Luke that are not in the book of John. Yes, because the presentation of the 4 of them is based on, number 1, what they personally got to understand about him. If you take a look at the book of John, John says, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and God himself was the Word. He presented Jesus Christ according to his spiritual genealogy. If you go to the book of Matthew, you see Matthew presented Jesus Christ according to his physical genealogy from Father Abraham downward. I think it's even from Adam. Now, that's how the Gospels presented Jesus Christ in different dimensions, in different ways. Now, somebody now came after 400 years and claimed that one spirit is using him, or one angel is giving him message, and that he has come to set up something. And then you, as a child of God, you now sat down on the same table with people that followed that one that came 400 years later, and you are now both sitting down. That our own that came and your own that later came, that I don't think the IQ is working perfectly. Because if your IQ is working perfectly, you will discover that there is nothing to debate in the case of Jesus Christ and Muhammad. They are 2 parallel lines, they can never meet. No, how can no? Muhammad died, he was buried. In case you did not know, Jesus Christ died, he was buried, but he resurrected the 3rd day. Muhammad, he made it clear that Allah has the power to choose and to reject, that he himself did not know the path which he belongs. If I'm lying, prove me wrong. Jesus Christ came, he said, look, oh, I am going to prepare a place for you, and I will come back again, that where I am, you are going to be there. How dare you compare these two? How? Jesus Christ came, he lived for 33 years plus. No girlfriend, no wife, no child. Or he gave birth to a lot of spiritual children. But Muhammad came. How many wives was recorded? And you that you are following him, you can tell. You that you are following him, you can tell. But me, I don't know. But I know he has several wives and children. Now, the question is, how are they corresponding to each other? They are not. That's why I find it very painful when I see a grown-up man sit down with them and be debating stupidity. Because you don't have anything to argue, you don't have anything to prove. You see, in the matter of Jesus Christ, forget about facts and factuals. Forget it. In the matter of Jesus Christ, you don't have anything to lose. I'm telling you, you don't have anything to lose. If you present Jesus Christ to anybody and they say no, you have nothing to lose. I'm telling you. Even Jesus Christ, at some point, he was rejected in some places. And as he was rejected, he left their side, he left their territory, he left them to their fate. This is Jesus Christ himself. If Jesus Christ himself can leave some places because they don't want him there, who are you, his followers? Who are you? His disciple. Are you normal at all? I know. Are you normal at all? Jesus Christ can left a place because they don't want him there, and you, his disciple, you are now saying, oh no, I need to make them to understand. As how? It is none of your business. When you preach gospel to anybody and the person refuses, and they say they have a religion they are practicing, it's none of your business. So forget it. So what I'm trying to make in this point is that you can never compare Jesus Christ with Muhammad. If you are doing so, you are a fool. I'm not sorry to say it, because it is only a foolish person that will look at a madman and begin to abuse a madman because a madman abused him.